gentlemen, how is everybody doing today? I hope this video finds you well, guys. I hope you are in good health. I hope you've been able to get your lessons done for this week and you haven't had too much of a problem. You haven't had too many issues. If you have, please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free to send me an email, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can and make sure that I try to help you figure out your issue and try to help you fix your issue. Today is Friday. It is the last day of the week. It is an A day, and much, much more importantly, it is High Five Because You're Awesome Friday. So give me a high five. There we go. Give me five. Show me you're alive. There we go. Perfect. All right. Awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic. So today is May 15th. Like I said, it is an A day. What we are going to be doing today is we're going to be reviewing the Mexican-American War. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, go over the check for learning from Tuesday, and then once we wrap that up, we will be all set for today. So my office hours today, ladies and gentlemen, are from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you're wondering why your grade is what it is, feel free to shoot me an email between 11 and 12 or 3 and 4, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. So, the agenda for today and some review statements for today. If you're hearing my voice right now, that means you have completed bullet number 1. Fantastic. Great job. The other things I would like you to do, please make sure you have read the information from the website about the gold rush using this link. And I have copied and pasted this link in the teacher review statements in that review statement if you need the link over again. You'll also find that link in yesterday's lesson just so you can take and read the information and answer the check for learning. The next bullet, please make sure you have watched the crash course video for May 14th. It is a good video, guys. It does review westward expansion, the Texas Revolution, and the Mexican-American War pretty well, and it does talk about the California Gold Rush. So please make sure you watch that. Please make sure you have completed the check for learning on the slides from May 14th. I want to be able to give you guys as much credit as I can, and if you skip the check for learning, it will hurt your grade and you will lose more points than if you had completed it. So do yourselves a favor. Please make sure you complete that check for learning. And then if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Send me an email during my office hours, and you should have no problem getting a hold of me, and I will respond to your email as quickly as I possibly can. So what I would like to do is I'd like to talk about the exit ticket for Thursday's lesson, just taking a look at the Mexican-American War and the review that we had for the Mexican-American War. All right, so this does do a bit of focusing on the Texas Revolution, but it is still important, and I wanted us to get some practice in reading these documents and then answering questions based on the documents. So I want to read this real quick, guys, and then I'm going to go over some of the really good answers that I saw in those checks for learning. That doesn't mean that I didn't see other good answers, but these were some of the ones that stood out to me. So the first document reads like this. Jose Maria Sanchez argued that Americans claimed Mexican-controlled land illegally. The Americans have taken possession of practically all of the eastern part of Texas, in most cases without the permission of the authorities. They immigrate constantly, finding no one to prevent them, and take possession of the site that best suits them without either asking leave or going through any formality other than that of building their homes. And we can see at the bottom, and it's really important to read at the bottom of that document, it's attributed to a Mexican soldier, Jose Maria Sanchez, April 1828. Now, the document that goes along with that, the other document that we have here is written by or spoken by Stephen F. Austin. And Stephen F. Austin argued that Texas should be Americanized like its neighboring land. My object, the sole and only desire of my ambitions since I first saw Texas, was to settle it with an intelligent, honorable, and enterprising people. Texas should be effectually and fully Americanized. That is, settled by a population that will harmonize with their neighbors, in the East in language, political principles, common origin, sympathy, and even interest. Stephen F. Austin, circa 1837. So now it's asking you to find a similarity or a difference. And if you read through that, if you understood it right off the bat, and even if you just read the descriptions above the documents, you kind of get the idea that the first document really doesn't like Americans moving into Texas, the fact that Americans are moving into Texas. And the second document seems like it's trying to prove why Texas should be a part of the United States. So that is that main difference right there, that Americans should live in Texas and Texas should be a part of the United States in document 2, versus the view in document 1 that Texas should be a part of Mexico and Americans should not live in Texas. So that's the big difference. And if we look down, and this one's kind of hard to see, but the question was asking you to identify a similarity or difference regarding what people think should happen to Texas and how people felt about Americans living in Texas based on the 2 documents above. And it gave you the definition for similarity and difference. And the other important thing I want to call your attention to is when it says a similarity or difference, that means you can pick one or the other. You don't have to do both. Just as a heads up, just to clarify that for next time in case that happens. But if you did give me both, that's perfect. That's awesome. I'm glad you went above and beyond what I asked. But you don't have to, and you didn't get it wrong if you didn't do both, just so you know. Okay, so I wanted to run through that and take a look at that. I want to take a look at some of the answers that came out really well and some of the answers that were correct and had a lot of detail and were what I felt to be exceptional answers. So the first answer and the first person I want to call attention to and I want to recognize for having a great answer is Natalia Rosario. And her answer says a difference between the 2 documents was that document 1 was saying they didn't want Texas to be Americanized, and document 2 was saying that an intelligent, honorable, and enterprising people, Texas should be effectually and fully Americanized. A similarity between the 2 documents is that they're both arguing about what is best for Texas, even if they both have different views. So Natalia shows us both a similarity and a difference, and she uses information from the documents to back up her point. And that's exactly what you want to do. That is exactly how you want to answer that question. Okay? So great job, Natalia. The second answer that I found to be a very good answer from all of the answers I received was from Sophia Prentice. And her answer says one difference is that Jose and that America said that America was taking over Texas illegally. But Stephen said that they want to settle it and that it is totally legal. Document 1 said, in most cases without the permission of authorities. This shows that Jose thinks Americans are being unfair and illegal. Document 2 said, settled by a population that will harmonize with their neighbors in the East in language, political principles, common origin, sympathy, and even interest. This shows how Stephen thinks that they are doing the right thing for Texas. So this makes it very clear the difference between these 2 documents, and it does it by also, again, using evidence from the document itself, actually quoting it or paraphrasing it. It uses information from the documents themselves. Okay, so I've got 2 more documents, 2 more answers, just to go over with you guys and talk to you guys and recognize a couple of your classmates. And then that should wrap it up. So the next answer, Sophia Greco, came from Sophia Greco, and her answer said, there is a difference between the 2 documents' point of view. Jose Maria Sanchez argues the Americans have taken possession of practically all of the eastern part of Texas, in most cases without the permission of authorities. Stephen F. Austin argues Texas should be effectually and fully Americanized. The 2 documents present 2 different perspectives. Exactly. Evidence from the document, and at the end, it shows how those 2 documents are different. So very good, great job. And the last answer comes from Alexis Galligan, and it says in the first document, it shows that the Americans have taken most of the eastern part of Texas and that Jose Maria Sanchez wants to remove them, but he can't. The second document is different because it talks about how Texas should be Americanized, like other land. Basically, a difference is that the second document was about how Texas should be Americanized, while document one said that Americans were invading Texas. So this is an example of paraphrasing the information, which is another way you can do it. You don't always have to quote it. You absolutely can take and paraphrase the document and put it in your own words. And that's exactly what Alexis does and makes it really clear what the difference is and kind of explains it and uses the evidence from the documents to show how these two documents are different. So that is a fantastic job by Alexis. So those were some examples of correct answers, guys. If you looked at the checks for learning after I released them yesterday, you would have seen either a comment that said great job or that is correct, which would have meant that you got that answer correct. Or if you saw good try or a different answer, that would have meant you got that question wrong. So make sure you double check those comments. Make sure you read over those comments to figure out what you can do to fix your understanding of how to answer document questions. The other thing I want to make sure that I mention is when I post these grades today, some of you are going to realize that you have a 1, but you checked the slides and you did the check for learning. And you might not understand why you have a 1 for a grade for that lesson. The other thing you need to make sure that you did is you need to make sure that you completed the Unit 12 key terms 1 through 4 at least. That was due on Tuesday, all right? So as long as you had that completed, as long as you had that done, I accepted that, and that is how you need to make sure that you have that done, as well as the check for learning, and you look at the slides. That's how you get a 2 or a 3. So if you have a 1 for a grade for Tuesday's lesson, make sure you take a look. Make sure you check to see that you have completed that you have typed it up, and you have shared those Unit 12 key terms 1 through 4 with me. That's how you will end up with a 2 or a 3. You can always email me and ask whether you have handed those in or not, guys, and I can make sure that I let you know. Just as a reminder, my office hours to do that are from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you have any questions about your grade, make sure you reach out to me at those times. Those are the best times. I'll make sure I get back to you as quickly as I can. With that said, guys, I hope you have a fantastically awesome day. I hope you are able to get out this weekend and take a break from schoolwork and get outside and enjoy the weather. Knock on wood. Hopefully we have some good weather because I am itching to get outside and go for a walk or throw on my rollerblades or ride a bike or just do something. I've been cooped up in this apartment for entirely too long. I need a break. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend and enjoy your day. Have a fantastically, awesomely, stupendously, splendiferous day, and I will catch you guys on Monday. Have a great day, guys.